Hello, my name is Dominique Cobb. I will be speaking today about the Code of Ethics. The reason why I chose this topic is because right now I am in the profession of human resources in public housing sector along with HUD. I do plan on pursuing this, staying in this field and pursuing this area, and in actuality becoming a developer, but also certification in human resources. The reason why the Code of Ethic and Code of Conduct, as some would call it in human resources, is so important is because this is the basis of how the business is being ran. Um, the reason also I chose this subject because this is the pillars of what the business is ran on. Some code of ethics are in the public housing sector, and I retrieved this information from West Palm Beach Public Housing. I'm sorry, West Palm Beach Housing Authority, also the DeKalb County Housing Authority, and also the Tampa Housing Authority. So the code of conducts deal with not having relations. A public employee or board member cannot have relations with a person who is a recipient of the program. Also, a person who works for the housing authority cannot have a contract with someone who is a vendor of the housing authority. Also, there is another rule where you cannot take monetary gifts over $25. The reason why this stood out to me is because with one of the housing authorities, the Tampa Housing Authorities, one of the CEOs actually was in trouble because he violated one of these codes of conduct, not only by the board members he violated, but also HUD's rules and regulations. And the reason why this is a problem is because you can, the reason why this became an issue, and it was actually something that became very big in Florida, is because this CEO took money and funneled it from his business so that the contractors who were already doing business with the housing authorities, he would award them more contracts if they did business with him also, but at a lower price. These are things that could cause the company to have a bad image. It can also violate different laws, not only on the local and state level, but also the government level, because housing authorities receive money from those different entities also. And the responsibility of a housing authority worker is not to get involved with things that can tarnish the reputation of a company. And so those are the three principles of the Code of Ethics. Also, these problems happen a lot in housing authorities because we deal with a lot of vendors. And if these code of ethics were not put into place, there could be other vendors who are favored over other ones because they are able to give lower prices to people who they want to do more business with. So it is the housing authority practices not to go into contract with someone that a housing authority is already in contract with. And this is a very serious problem that went on with a lot of housing authorities. But in the 90s, more codes of conduct were introduced, and board members and all employees had to sign off on those things when being hired. That's why during the onboarding process, we make sure that each individual reads the code of conduct, or what we call the code of ethics, and make sure they have a clear understanding on what those things are, so that legally we are protected, and it's in their file that they know what the code of conducts are. And I learned so much in this lesson because talking about the different levels, everyone wants to be on the theoretic level, but more than likely they're more on the practice level, practical, where they're practicing it. So that is my time. I hope that you all learned something from my presentation.